Mic check. Hello and welcome to the second round of Master Race Cars' third season of their Rally Championship in Live for Speed, with 4 custom Rallycross mods made by Tim Ducknodder of the MRC team, also the organiser and reigning champion of this season. Tonight we're at Blackwood Rallycross for round number 2 of the championship, and well, everyone should know what this track looks like, but it is slightly different, slightly changed, because we have, of course, Joker laps in the MRC Rallycross Championship. The Joker lap is at turn number 6, as you can see there highlighted in green. Tonight we're going to have 3 rounds of heats yet again, with 3 laps each, and then a final. In every single race that we will have tonight, the drivers must complete at least 1 Joker lap. Any penalties that they get will see them having to do extra Joker laps during each of the races. Round 1 back in 2022 was pretty interesting. We had some new drivers that we've not seen before, some real-world Rallycross drivers as well, which was really awesome. We'll get to that in just a moment's time. But here we are, the calendar of our 5-round Season 3 of MRC Rallycross Championship. Tonight we're at the only non-custom layout, as far as I'm aware. Blackwood Rallycross, the old faithful Blackwood Rallycross layout. Then we're going to head off to Fern Bay for one of our Fern Bay rounds, and then Aston and back to West Hill for the end of the season. Let's have a look at the championship standings for the championship so far. It is quite interesting. We have Stephen Bossard, our real world Rallycross driver, there in first place with 20 points ahead of reigning champion and season organiser Tim Ducknodder. Kimi Sarkinen holds P3 ahead of Rafael Kostra, Sindra Silva in P5, Daniel Lundqvist, Roni Hopiavuri in P7, Yassin Badal in P9, Roni Krompush P9, and Agostini de Silva P10. Miguel Leandro, Michael Malek, and Jelly Ducknodder round out the 13 drivers who scored points on our championship table. And we're getting ready to go for round number 2. It's all very exciting. And yeah, I can't wait. Let's talk a little bit about the cars then that the drivers get to choose from for this championship. Here they are, the Shanker T16, which has been used in Season 2, a 2-litre inline 4 all-wheel drive car. All of these cars, in fact, for that specification. The only difference being the weight of the Fraud Wheeler E2RX. It's 9 kilograms lighter. And some people may see that as an advantage, having 9 kilos less weight. But there we are. That's the only difference among all 4 of these cars. So yeah, pick the one you want and drive it like you stole it, because this is all these cars are seriously powerful, and they've been pretty carefully made by Tim Ducknodder. The Saab 93 T16 4x4 has been essentially okayed by Saab as well. Tim reached out to them, and they were happy for it to be built and loaded into the for Speed as a mod. So pretty cool to have that in our lineup today. Yeah, just a couple of minutes to go before we get going for the first of our heat races. Each of our heats tonight are going to consist of at least 2 races, we think. That will be the same across the board. So our Heat 1 races, maybe 2 to 3 races per, before our finals. Worth noting that for the finals. The winner of the C final will be promoted into the B final, and the winner of the B final will be promoted into the A final. And heat results are based on time, so you will be separated into a final based on your combined best times from the heats. So that's how that's going to work. And yeah, of course, reminding that all the drivers have to complete at least one mandatory Joker lap every single time around, or else they're not going to be classified. But yeah, talking about the track, Blackwood Rallycross, it's been in the game since its inception. In one form or another, it's gone through a few different remodelings, but the current iteration of Blackwood Rallycross is what we're running tonight, with the addition of the Turn 6 Joker lap. It doesn't add too much to the lap time. Normally, it's pretty much flat out right-hander, but the drivers will almost certainly have to brake down to quite a slow speed to take the Joker. You can just see it on the right-hand side of the frame there. But yeah, it's pretty tricky to do. We saw quite a few drivers getting this wrong last season, so hopefully we are going to see fewer mistakes today, because a fair few of the drivers in the championship have driven this version of the track before in the past, so they should have some experience with it. All right. Yeah, I mentioned that there are a couple of real-world Rallycross drivers in this event today. Stephen Bossard returns, and Fabian Paylet may be around as well. Two drivers that, if you are familiar with the world of rallying, you may have heard of those two. So we look forward to seeing them in tonight's show. So just waiting to get the green light from the organisers. Just remember that NDR are also involved in the timing and scoring and live timing for this event, so great to have them as part of the MRC Rallycross team. So yeah, we'll be back in a moment's time for the start of this event. Don't go anywhere. We're almost ready to go here for the first heat. The drivers are just being called up for the grid. We will be able to call the grids for this round very shortly, once the drivers have been sorted into their heats. And yes, I am very excited for this round. We had a brilliant final last time out. Pretty edge of your seat stuff. So hopefully we get a similar level of action and excitement this evening. Yeah, thanks for joining us if you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube. Hopefully Twitch holds it together tonight. It's been a bit flaky the past few weeks, but if not, we're also broadcasting on YouTube, so if for whatever reason it starts to drop out, then please join us over on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/simbroadcasts live. All right, the grids are being loaded up. Just about ready to go. But yeah, we will go for another hold. Apologies for the delay in the start of this. We will have action on the screen as soon as we have cars on the grid. So I'm going to be quiet for a bit longer. Hold on to your hats. We have cars on the grids and we have lights. We're very ready to go. We have Sarkkinen, Silver, Leandro, Godge, and Palia, one of our real-world Rallycross drivers. And we have a pretty frantic first jump as we have a few cars going very, very sideways over the jumps there. But it is Silver who takes an early lead with Sarkkinen in P2. We're watching him right now. And he goes a little bit wide there as David Godge having a bit of trouble in the background. And we're going to head up to the final, the back straight where the Joker lap is. Will any of the drivers elect to take the Joker on the first time around? Yes, they will. Palia, oh no, there we go. He lagged slightly there. Palia did not go down the Joker. Leandro is in the Joker and he's done it there. And so is Godge. Godge has done his Joker as well. Joker completed for him. But it is Silver who is coming up and over the start-finish line to complete lap number 1 with a healthy advantage, 0.6 of a second over Teemu Sarkkinen. And going very, very sideways into turn 1 there is Taylor. He goes over the jump. Looking to score his first points in the Rallycross Championship. The real-world Rallycross driver there is heading over the jump. Don't forget that Silver also competing in Rallycross Championships in Finland, leading this one. But here's where the action is, folks. All three of these top guys need to serve their Joker lap, and it's going to be side by side down towards the next corner. And of course, Sarkkinen elects to go straight into the Joker. There we go. Joker completed for him. There we are. A move made, but now Paler needs to use this free air to his advantage. He's got to open up a bit of a gap over Teemu if he wants to make the jump before the end of the race. We're on the final lap already, only 3 lap heats here, and Silver, well, he is throwing down the gauntlet absolutely. 2-second lead now over Paler. Head over the first series of jumps here. Absolutely perfection up until that point, a bit wide. And we've got a battle on for the final position. Leandro versus Godge. Both these drivers having served their drive through. Leandro goes wide. Godge side by side. Contact, door banging. Godge trying to force his way through, and he does. A move made there in classic Rallycross style. And Silver must serve his Joker. In he goes, as does Paler. Sarkkinen's already done it, but where is he? Is he going to get an advantage? He is. Paler's gone very wide, but he's not quite done it. Sarkkinen does not retake second place. Paler had a very, very nice lap and a very, very nice Joker, but it's all on Silver now. As he comes up the hill, he will take victory in Heat Race 1 of the second round of the championship, as we have coming across the line in second place, Paler in his first race, second place. Very, very nicely done. Sarkkinen will be a little bit unhappy with third place, but it was a pretty quick heat, 58.34 best lap for Silver. Across the line in fourth, it's David Godge and Leandro in P5. Let's get the results then of that heat and show those on the screen. Get those on the screen for you now. There it is. Those are the results then of heat number 1. Silver in 3 minutes 2. Paler in P2. Sarkkinen P3, Godge fourth, and Leandro in P5. Fastest lap going the way of Silver, 58.34. Very, very fast indeed. And we will get ready for the second race in Heat 1. Don't go anywhere. Here we go for Heat Race 2 of Heat 1. We have a grid, and it is Justin, Popiavuri, Lundqvist, Steele, and Tim Ducknodder. And we head down to turn 1. We're already there, in fact, and it's Lundqvist who leads the way. Oh, and there's a bit of contact already at the apex of turn 1, and two cars going very, very sideways. Tim Ducknodder there is going for a move straight out of the blocks. In the background, it's Steele. Oh, goodness, someone going very, very sideways there. There's currently Justin going for P1 then. He's going to have a bit of a fight with Popiavuri. But it's Lundqvist again going very, very wide. He's having a pretty frantic opening to this race. But it's Popiavuri who's doing everything he needs to do. Justin, Teal and Lundqvist all going for the Joker. Justin's gone wide and hit the wall. He's not had a good Joker at all, but it's Popiavuri versus Tim Ducknodder at the front. Tim looking to make quick his advantage here at the front as we ride on board with him up the hill. Is he going to go for the move quickly and get the dive done into turn number 1 of Blackwood Rallycross? Yes, he is. Of course he is. He can't wait. It's only 3-lap heats here. And side by side, well, he hasn't got the car rotated as well as he wants to, and therefore Popiavuri has his advantage. Quickly over the jump. Tim slightly better line, but Popiavuri, he has track position and will be able to block Tim quite easily. Tim's going to have to use the slipstream or a good exit to try and get past here. Popiavuri wide again, but it doesn't matter because he's stopped Tim in his tracks. Neither of them are going to go for the Joker. No, yes, they are. Popiavuri goes for the Joker. Tim has to work hard now. He's gone a little bit wide, not too bad. But let's see, can Lundqvist get through? Yes, he can. Lundqvist has got through, but still yet to serve his Joker. Popiavuri returns to the track in P number 3, while Teal and Justin scramble around at the back. So Tim Ducknodder and Lundqvist, the only two left to serve their Joker, but it's more important that Tim gets a good turn 1. It's quite a wide entry, but back to a late apex, absolutely no problem at all. Lundqvist, crucially then, will begin to hold up Popiavuri. Popiavuri will not want this car in front of him, slowing him down. Bit wide at the apex, and Lundqvist is definitely going to play a factor here. Tim Ducknodder is in a prime position as long as he makes his Joker lap work. Let's ride on board with him as he does the Joker. Here he goes. A lot slower, the Joker here. And he's locked up a bit. He's going to be a bit wide. He's going to have to be careful on the apex, on the exit, but he's done it okay. And Popiavuri, while Lundqvist does his Joker, releases Popiavuri, but it's going to be a close final couple of corners. I think Tim's done enough. He just has this one bend to go, and he has done enough. Tim Ducknodder will win the way he wants to. Starts the round the way he wants to, my mistake, and wins his first heat ahead of Popiavuri, Teal, Lundqvist and Justin. There we go. So the results of race number 2 for Heat 1 are as follows. Silver in 3 minutes 2. Sorry, that is the incorrect results. I will very quickly rectify that. There we go. Tim Ducknodder in 3 minutes 5 wins the second heat race. But fastest lap goes the way of Teal. 59.03, slightly slower than the first race we saw, but good nonetheless. And yes, we will have the third race of Heat 1 coming up in just a moment's time. Here are the grids, and the next race will be... Well, next heat will be between Costa, Vidal and Stephen Bossard. We already have lights, we already have cars going, and it is Costa who makes an early lead. Stephen Bossard there in the white car in the middle, trying to effect a pass, makes contact with Costa, and it is Yassin Vidal then who has to try and get through, and he does! Oh, just about on Costa. Bit frantic at the beginning, and the cars have completely changed order since the grid, but it is Stephen Bossard, the championship leader, who heads through the first Rallycross section in the lead, the number 12, ahead of Yassin Vidal. And a quick change of position there in the background. Almost. Costa almost managed to get through. Costa's going to go for his Joker early, though. He throws the car into the Joker lap. As he heads over this little jump, he needs to make a good couple of laps to try and make the jump on these two. But Stephen Bossard already with a huge lead, over a second at the first sector time. It'll be much more than that when he comes across start-finish to complete lap 1. There he goes. The gap nearly 2 seconds already over Yassin Vidal. And Yassin grabbed a bit of grass going into the braking zone for turn 1. Not ideal. And Costa, well, he needs to work really, really hard. He's got to try and at least close up to Yassin Vidal. All three of these cars obviously guaranteed a podium, but it doesn't matter. You want to lead and you want to have a really quick time, because the heat results, your best times, will put you into a final. And Stephen Bossard, again, electing not to do his Joker, but Yassin does. It's a little bit tardy, but he's out. Is he going to be out ahead of Costa? Yes, he is. And, well, actually a very, very nice poise. Oh, he's gone slightly wide of the apex, but it will be all right. Yeah, he's got a good exit onto the tarmac section. But Stephen Bossard, what a lead he has at this point. No trouble. Nice slide into turn 1. Late apex. Back on the power early, and he's off. So all eyes on the back of the grid to see what happens here between these two. It looks like Stephen's got this in the bag. We'll have to check his Joker, of course, in a few moments' time. Looks like Yassin's got everything under control. P2. Onto the back straight we go with Stephen Bossard. And let's see how he manages the Joker. This is his first time doing it at speed. A little bit of a lock-up. He's going to go a bit deep. Tags the apex, but no issues. He's out in really clean air. Great line into the final section. And this is going to be the largest gap we've seen so far today at the end of the heat races. Stephen Bossard, just one corner to go. You can just see Yassin Vidal poking his head out of the final corner. Here we go. Stephen Bossard wins race number 3 of the evening. It will be Yassin Vidal in P2. And Costa will come across the line in P number 3. Rafael Costa there with decent lap times, but will it be enough to get him into a high final at the end? We've still got 2 heat races to go, of course. We will have to wait and see. Here are the results then. In 3 minutes 2, the number 12, Stephen Bossard, championship leader, winning his heat race, his first heat race of the evening, with a fastest lap of a 58.38. Extremely fast heat that for these guys. So heat race 4 coming up in just a moment's time. 4 races per heats this evening. In this heat, we're going to have Roni Krompush, Michael Malik, and Kirill. Ronnie Krompush here just doing a bit of cheeky practice as we get ready to go racing again. Here we go, the cars are lined up on the grid. It's going to be a quick turnaround with only 3 cars. A very quick set of lights, but it is Ronnie on the left, Kirill in the middle, and Michael Malik on the right-hand side. And it's a quick getaway from all 3 of them, but a good start from Kirill. He's well placed to try and make a move on the outside of Ronnie if he wants to. Ronnie taking a very narrow line, blocking all 3 of them actually. Michael gets a move on Kirill done as we head over the first jump. Oh, goodness me, side by side. Michael still trying to get past Kirill. Kirill's not going to let him do it, is he? He's going to be on the inside as they go over the first jump. Michael forced wide in the number 47, battling with the opposite number, 74. Still side by side. And that's disaster. Michael tries to go for a move and Kirill forces him round. This is perfect for Ronnie Krompush. He has a little bit of an advantage, not as much as I would have expected. Michael will surely do the Joker. Yes, he does. Straight in there. Tight line. Nice exit. That's pretty smooth. One of the best we've seen tonight, actually, I think. And at the front, Kirill is actually making a bit of a gain on the back of Ronnie Krompush then. The number 96 heads on to lap number 2. With Kirill hot on his heels after all of that drama on lap number 1. A bit wide, and Ronnie's hit the apex completely. He's going to reverse into the path of Kirill as well. Not brilliant driving there from Ronnie at all. But Kirill away. He's absolutely away, and Ronnie is going to have to be careful of Michael Malik in the background. Michael's not had a good lap so far, really. Ronnie, even though he was facing the wrong way, still might have the advantage after his Joker here. But Kirill has been handed a free ticket here. He's going to have free choice of when he does his Joker now. He can do it now or on the final lap. Going to be the final lap for Kirill. Is Ronnie going to do his now? No, he's not. So both of those two are going to do it one more time before they do the Joker. But Michael's dropping back even more here. Not making any sort of ground on Ronnie at the moment. So it looks like Kirill is on his way to heat victory here. But it's not going to be a quick heat. All of these cars have been in some sort of incident or accident. Kirill tangling with Michael on lap 1. Ronnie's almost spinning the car. As we head over the jump, Michael Malik's setting the fastest lap of the heat. But is it enough? He's still 4 seconds behind our leader, the number 74, Kirill here. And a reminder, all the drivers have to do at least 1 Joker lap, so these 2 will be through that Joker on this time around. If they're not, they're disqualified. It's as simple as that. And here we go, breaking down into the Joker lap. You're going to see Ronnie Krompush behind as well, exiting. But where is Michael Malik? That's the important thing. Ronnie out clean, and it's going to be side by side with Ronnie. In fact, he's going to make the move. So Michael Malik very effective on that lap to get that done. Only 1 corner to go, but he's got the overspeed. I think Michael's done enough to make P2 his own. But it's all about Kirill, who will win heat race 4 of the evening. Michael Malik will come across the line in 2nd, and it's Ronnie Krompush in 3rd with a bit of a pirouette to the finish. Nice bit of style there. But Kirill is your victor for race number 4. Just a moment here while we prepare the next grid for heat number 2 coming up very shortly. Results of the final heat race there was Kirill, our winner, but Michael Malek took second place with the fastest lap of a 59.63, and Rony Krompusch in third place with a 1 minute 2.84. And heat number 2 will be coming up just in a moment's time. Well, here are the grids then for heat number 2. David Godge will be in heat race number 1 alongside Rony Krompusch, Daniel Lundqvist, Miguel Leandro, and Justin there in P5. And next to the names, you can see the times, the combined race time of the drivers from the previous heat that they did. And we're going to be gridding up now for heat 2. So the first heat race between David Godge, Rony Krompusch, Daniel Lundqvist, Miguel Leandro, and Justin is live and ready to go. We've lost a driver, in fact. Justin is not here. Yeah, Justin has, in fact, disconnected from the server, and we are away then. And it is David Godge who makes effective his start there. As we head down to turn 1. Lundqvist going a bit deep there. He's trying to go around the outside. It's going to work, is it? Lundqvist, in fact, yes, he takes the lead with a bold outside move. Rony Krompusch down to third, David Godge down to second, but David Godge is going to try and get back straight away here. But all of them with a little bit of a gap, a little bit of a breather between each of these cars now. We head on to the back straight for the first time. Again, another 3-lap race in heat 2. Godge and Krompusch running wide onto the grass. But Lundqvist is having a great heat so far, opening up a bit of a gap over David Godge. And a better line out of the final corner as well for Lundqvist. Godge having to do a little bit more work to get the car on the grey stuff. As we break down into turn 1, Lundqvist spitting out a bit of the smoke there. Godge a bit wide, and again, Rony coming into a bit of bother, and Leandro pitches the car around, plenty of power, slams on the accelerator and gets it going again. But Lundqvist, fastest lap with an 8/10 lead over David Godge then. And Rony Krompusch is back in third place. He was in third place at the end of the last race that he did. Let's see, can any of the drivers do their joker on lap number 2? Rony's going to go for it. There he goes. And Leandro as well. Joker completed for him. But as we head up to the final lap, it's Lundqvist with a 1.7 second lead over second place man David Godge. In fact, that's come down to 1.5 seconds. And a lot of tyre smoke again from Lundqvist. I noticed this last time in round 1. Lundqvist was on the edge of his tyres the whole time, and that came to bite him at the end of heat 4, at the end of his final, because the final was a lap longer. And yeah, that wasn't an ideal line through the Parabolica dirt section at BL3, but it could be enough. Again, a little bit slow through turn 6. And he has to serve his joker, as does David Godge. And they both come out ahead of their competitors. Rony Krompusch and Leandro some way behind. Leandro even further behind, in fact. And as Lundqvist comes out of the final dirt section of his heat, he's going to take a sure victory in heat race 1 of Heat 2. Ahead of David Godge. Ronnie Krompush will come across the line in 3rd, followed by Leandro a little while later. There we go. So at the end of that one, it's Lundqvist who takes victory. David Godge in P2, Ronnie Krompush in P3, and Leandro in P4. Fastest lap of that one going to Lundqvist, a 58.87. Here we go then for race number 2 of Heat 2. And we have 5 cars in this one. We have Hopiaviri, Thiel, Costa, Kirill, and Michael Malek. Here come the lights. And we are green. It's a good start from Hopiaviri again. Bad start from Thiel. Who actually runs into the rear of Hopiaviri, pushes him wide. And that does not help him at all because it's Costa who's made a blinder of a start and is away and running at the front. That's all thanks to Thiel braking pretty late into the first corner, and he finds himself in 3rd in a battle with Michael Malek as who's that slipping through? That's Kirill now on the outside. Costa leads, followed by Hopiaviri, then Thiel. Kirill there fighting at the back with Michael Malek. In fact, Michael Malek finds himself back at the rear of the grid. Who's going to do their joker? Michael Malek and Thiel. Kirill then electing not to do it, along with our 2 leaders. Michael Malek again, a little bit slow through the joker. But there we go. Costa then leads after lap 1. After a pretty frantic first corner, it has to be said. Hopiaviri has everything to do then. He was leading into turn 1. Got a bit of a shove. Now has to pick up the pieces. He too goes for a bit of a tighter line, trying to spook Costa. Not going to work. Costa is, well, he's a MRC Rallycross Championship veteran. Did very well last season and looking to improve on his result this season. He's going about it pretty well right now, leading just about over Hopiaviri. It's close though between these two as we ride on board now with the number 7 heading out onto the back straight. Will either of these two do their jokers now, or are they going to wait for the final lap? Costa looks committed to the corner. Yep, Hopiaviri goes through the joker. Where's he going to come out? Kirill slips through. Thiel, is he going to cause headache? No, he's not. So Hopiaviri returning in P3 then. Ahead of Michael Malek and Thiel. Costa has a 2-second lead over Kirill. Kirill posting the fastest lap, in fact down to 1.3 seconds the gap. And Thiel posts an even faster lap there down in P4. And it's starting to bunch up again. Hopiaviri will be hoping that the 2 ahead have a shoddy joker lap. That's his only real chance of gaining anything more than 2nd place, I'd say, at this point. But I hope that Costa's joker doesn't go so well for him. And let's see how he does as we run through for the final time. Looks pretty clean to me, but it's going to be close. Hopiaviri just about comes out behind. As we got contact between Michael Malek and Kirill, as Kirill does his joker, they've come to blows, and Michael's pretty much out of it now. But Thiel trying to make a move around the outside. He has on Hopiaviri. It's happened right at the death of the race. It's going to be Costa who wins, but it's a change for Thiel and Hopiaviri. Hopiaviri pretty gutted about that one. He had it in the bag, and unfortunately, it's gone wrong. Kirill and Michael Malek came together after Kirill's joker lap, and oh goodness me, Michael very unhappy clearly with that. Runs into the back of Kirill, sends him flying. Luckily, it's a sim. Here we go for the next race. And we are away. It's Sarkinen, Knoda, and Bidal, Yasin Bidal. And we're headed down to turn number 1. Yasin goes very, very deep. And the number 69 of Sarkinen has the early lead then as we head through onto lap number 1 of Heat Race 3 in Heat 2. And Tim Knoda's coming into all sorts of trouble with Yasin Bidal. Tim needs another clean heat here if he's going to be in the A final to try and get more points. But Yasin's gone really, really wide. He will not enjoy going that wide, that's for sure. As we head onto the back straight, it's Sarkinen versus Knoda. They're almost side by side. Sarkinen and Knoda go through the Joker. Yasin elects to just keep himself with some clear track position. And it's Sarkinen who ends up in the lead. Clearly, a much, much better Joker in the end from Knoda. He's gone wide at the final part of this Rallycross section. Good exit, though. And Tim's got to do a lot of work to catch up and pass him in the remaining 2 laps. As we head on to lap number 2. Again, a bit wide of entry for Yasin, but he's got it together. And he gets free choice when he does his Joker. Just needs to keep it clean. Sarkinen then opening up a little bit of an advantage over Tim. 0.8 of a second across the line. And a bit wide of the apex again. Tim will close up here. And we will see if he's able to get through. He's really being aggressive here on the lines is Tim. A bit of a correction at the apex. He's going to run wide again. That's not going to help him. Sarkinen doing a good job out at the front. Sarkinen turned in a bit earlier. Tim was a little bit wider of the apex. You can just see that just gives away even more time. But again, at the final corner, Sarkinen wider in initially and gets himself a better exit. The straight is longer, so that seems to be working well for him. And now Sarkinen posting the fastest lap of the race. But will it be enough to get past Yasin after his Joker? I think it might well be at this point in time. 1.7 seconds the gap. And it's closing down again. Yasin slightly wide. Needs to begin to tighten up these lines. And let's see as we head down to the Joker. He has to go through it. Thinks about not doing it, but then breaks down. Sarkinen's going to be through quite easily. So too is Tim Knoda. So that's a bit of a surprise. There we go. It's going to be Sarkinen's heat. And Tim Knoda is going to have to settle for P2 in this one. But Teemu Sarkinen comes across the line to win his second heat. Tim Knoda in P2 and Yasin Bidal in P3. Bidal was in third place, blimey, as after just before the others served the Joker. So maybe not as much of a surprise, but there we go. The race results: 3 minute 3.8 for Sarkinen, Tim Knoda in P2 and Bidal in P3. Sarkinen with the fastest lap there, 58.57. And the next race in our heat for Heat 2 coming up in just a moment's time. In this one, we're going to have Stephen Bossard, Sindra Silva, and Fabian Payler. So 3 real-world rally drivers actually going up against each other here. Interesting. This is it's going to be a fascinating race between 3 experienced real-world rallycross drivers. Bit of a treat for me in the commentary box here. Here we go then for the final race in heat number 2. Bossard, Silva and Paler. And Stephen Bossard takes an early lead, but wide at the final corner, trying to get a good exit is Paler. It's not worked out on this occasion, but Stephen Bossard has the lead, just trying to... Oh, goodness me. Paler had a good exit and somehow manages to get back through on Silva. So Silva forced down to the back to leave it to his fellow companions here. And Stephen Bossard has Paler for company on this occasion. Won his first heat, and he'll want to win his second. Paler and Silva both going for their joker early in the race. Silva slightly wide, tags the exit barrier with his rear left quarter panel, sends him a little bit squirrely, and he's lost time to Paler. Now Bossard needs to really charge. He needs to forget about his rear view mirror, if rally drivers even use those, and charge forward. The gap 3 seconds. We need to keep an eye on that after Paler has done his joker. So if that time goes down, then Paler is probably in a good position to take over the lead and almost cement his place in the A final. These guys have all been involved in pretty quick heats, so at the moment they're doing well. But it's Stephen Bossard. Is he going to go for his joker early? Yes, he is. He doesn't want Paler to overtake him, have any risk of overtaking him before the joker. And that's how close it was. There's contact. There is contact between the two. Paler was all over him as he exited out of the joker, and so much so there was contact. And Stevens made a great had a great chance to. Silva's had a great chance to catch up, as Silva takes the fastest lap, in fact, while these two were tangling with each other. And this is by far and away the closest heat race we've had so far, I think, with all three of the competitors within 1.5 seconds of each other at this point. But Paler has got the bit between his teeth. He has to do something if he wants to get through. Number 13 racing with the number 12. But a good exit again from Bossard. And it looks like this heat race is his. Can he make it 2 from 2? One more corner. He's a bit wide. It's not going to affect him too much because he'll get a better exit than Fabian Paler. And as we head up to start-finish for the end of this heat race, it will be Stephen Bossard ahead of Paler and Silva in P3 in very quick succession, within 1.5 seconds of each other, and it's Paler who takes the fastest lap of that one. And there we go then, 3 minutes 2 seconds 0.19. Fabian Paler 0.5 second behind, and Silva has to settle for P3. Let's see what that means for the results of our heats. Stephen Bossard is currently leading the table, the combined heats table. That was the fastest heat we've just had, so that's why those three are at the top. That's how we stand as we head into heat number 3. This list will be cut up into an A, B, and a C final. If you're at the top of this list, you're doing a great job to get into a good heat. But we can see that Roni Krompush, Michael Malek, and Kirill have not had particularly fast heat races, and therefore will likely have to work very, very hard to get themselves out of the C final into the B final, and from the B final into the A final. There we are. Rafael Costa and Tim Nodder are in a tricky position at the moment. They're at risk of being in the B final, and only one of them can progress through to the A final. And let's take a look then at the grids for heat number 3. Here they are. Heat 1 is going to be between Rony Krompush, Doctor, Miguel Leandro, Michael Malak, and Sergey Stilov. That's Kirill, not using his name in the race. Heat 2 between Rafael Costa, Thiel, Lundqvist, Godge, and Justin, who's no longer here. Heat 3 between Timu Sarkin and Tim Nodder, Yasin Badal, and Roni Hopiavuri. And Stephen Bossard, Fabian Paler, and Silver. Three between Bossard, Fabian, and Silver again. So these three will fight it out yet again in race 4. Going to be a couple of moments before we get going for the next set of races. So don't go anywhere. And we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Master Race Car Rallycross Championship. Here we have a new grid of drivers. It's Rony Krompush, David Godge, Kirill, Michael Malik and Leandro, and we are green for Heat 3, the first race of final four heat races of this week's round. And it is Rony Krompush again being bungled into turn number 1. He's taken the lead amazingly. But not for long. He's been overtaken immediately by David Godge, and Rony's been shoved through the tyres. I spoke way too soon. But David Godge has had a good start. Leandro 2 up into P2. Kirill and Michael Malik again battling side by side. These two came to blows at the end of their previous heat. Michael Malik did the Joker, and Kirill ran straight into the back of him and sent Michael spinning. Michael finished last in his last heat race. He'll be hoping for a better heat race here because this is his final chance to qualify in a high final. Leandro and Kirill and Rony Krompush through the Joker and completing it now. There we go. Godge leads ahead of Michael Malik. Then it's Leandro, Kirill and Rony Krompush at the back. And Kirill this time is staring at the rear of Leandro's car. Miguel Leandro there. As we head across the start-finish line to complete lap 1 is David Godge, who runs very deep again into turn 1, almost hitting the grass. Michael Malik in P2. These two, the only two left to serve their Joker already in this race. And, Leandro currently leading as he has to fight now with Kirill. Kirill trying to do it around the outside. Not quite going to work for him. Similar lines into turn 5. And out onto the back straight. It's a better exit then for Leandro. Kirill trying to find a way through. Neither of the top two went through the Joker, so they've got one more lap to do it. And Kirill is going to do the two at the front a favour here because he's going to start to harass Leandro in the number 19. Again, look, you can see he's going to try and get alongside him. This is going to compromise both of their lines, and they've made contact. Leandro went all over the curb, and Kirill had a great run. Rony's also going to have a run around the outside into turn 1. Rony already sporting right front damage, and who was that? That was Kirill going very slowly into turn 1. Took them both by surprise. This is brilliant for the top two. They're going to have basically a clear run. 5-second gap now between Leandro and Godge and Malik ahead. So while these guys have been scrapping, they've cost themselves a fast heat. This is going to be disastrous for their overall final placement. Leandro and Kirill still battling together. And let's take a look at Godge. He's going to be going into the Joker right now, as is Michael Malik. Malik needs to have a cleaner Joker than he did before he does, and that's great for these two. Godge is going for a clear win here. Michael Malik also with the fastest lap, but the drama behind between these two is continuing. Leandro has to get a good exit here. He does, and that should be good enough for his third place, maybe. But it's David Godge who wins ahead of Michael Malik. Michael Malik will take the second place on the podium. It's Leandro who ends up getting P3 ahead of Kirill, and Rony Krompush again with not a fantastic heat race, finishing down in P5 there. Oh, as we see Michael Malik taking an excursion through the bottom of the track. Fantastic. Let's grab the results of the race. And it was David Godge winning in 3 minutes 5. Not a quick heat from these guys. Michael Malik in P2. Leandro P3. Kirill P4 and Krompush P5. Fastest lap going the way of Michael Malik at 59.41. But that's not a fast heat from these guys. It might not stack them too well for the final. And as we take a look then at the grid placements for this heat. The next heat is between Yassin Badal, Rony Hopiaviri, Rafael Costa, Thiel, and Lundqvist. We're only going to have 3 races. I think the heats have been adjusted because of some of the drivers that have left mid-race. In fact, that is what's happened. So the heat race 2 in heat 3 is about to get underway. Yassin Bidal, Roni Hopiavuri, Rafael Costa, Thiel and Lundqvist in the second heat. The time you can see next to this graphic is the combined time of all of their heat races. So this is what will be ordered at the end to place the drivers into finals. So this is their heat 1 and heat 2 combined race total, and because Kirill had a DNF, that's why he's had an extortionate amount of time added to his result there. Heat 3 between Stephen Bossard, Fabian, Timu Sarkinen, Silva and Dugnoda is one not to miss. That is a fast heat. Speaking of fast heats, here we go. Lundqvist, Bidal, Thiel, Costa and Hopiavuri as you're looking at it, and we are green with a very colourful fleet of cars, it has to be said. Lundqvist, the exception to the rule, and he's forcing everybody over. He's trying to get the best line he can into turn 1. Clever or not, he may have the lead exiting turn 1, and he does after all of that. So a very rare... Oh, as we've got Costa almost rolled over by Yassin and Thiel there. Thiel in the pink. Hopiavuri in the yellow. Oh, Yassin going for a huge send over the jump, forcing Thiel to the back. Rafael Costa there in P2 using the Citroen livery. And, well, that's an exciting start. Lundqvist has had a brilliant start to this race. Yassin Bidal forced wide. Thiel back into the rear of the grid. And Hopiavuri promoted to third. Who's going to do the Joker? Hopiavuri is, and no one else. So just Hopiavuri. Lundqvist, a brilliant start. A good gap over Costa. Then it's Yassin Bidal and Thiel, the number 11, in P4. And, well, what a frantic beginning to Heat 3 for these guys. Goodness me. Hopiavuri in probably the prime seat, as we've got, well, a race on for second place. Yassin Bidal taking a very tight line over the hill. Costa a little bit of squirreling on the brakes, and Thiel again in the style we've come to recognise this heat so far, getting all up close and personal with the back of the car in front. As we go over the second jump, these three pretty close together. And it's Costa who's going to have to keep an eye out for the charging Yassin Bidal. Yassin sent it up the inside, and he's made the move, whether you like it or not. He's coming through. Lundqvist goes through. Yassin goes into the Joker. Costa goes into the Joker, just leaving Thiel and Lundqvist to fight it out. But it's been a disaster of a Joker for Yassin and Costa. And Hopiavuri having to... Oh, he's been absolutely mugged. He hit the wall, and that's allowed both of his competitors through. Costa and Bidal both go through, and Hopiavuri goes from potentially challenging for a podium to the back in the blink of an eye. Yassin and Costa still side by side, and this might let Hopiavuri force his way through. No, it doesn't! Yassin and the Hopiavuri come together. So Roni Hopiavuri not having a good heat at all. This is going to really hurt his final. Someone else who's having a great race is Lundqvist. And Thiel somehow finds himself in P2. Still to do a Joker, of course, but Costa will be thanking his lucky stars that he managed to keep mostly out of trouble. But Bidal and Roni Hopiavuri there not having a good third heat at all. And Lundqvist just needs to navigate the final corner, and he will have Heat 3 win on his record. As he comes up the hill and over start finish, he will win clearly ahead of Thiel. Then Costa in third place. Yassin Bidal P4 and Hopiavuri, well, what a disaster for him, crossing the line in P5. There we are then, in 3 minutes 5, another decent-ish heat for Lundqvist. Thiel in P2 there, Costa P3, Bidal in P4, and Hopiavuri P5, and Lundqvist getting the fastest lap of 59.06. So the final heat race of Heat 3 is going to be a spectacle. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a bit of a taste of what's to come in the final. Stephen Bossard versus Fabian Paler, Sindre Silva, Teemu Sarkinen and Tim Dicknodder. All of those guys in the final. Tim Dicknodder, you'll notice, has the slowest combined time. But don't worry, he has one more race in which to try and cement a good place in the finals. The fastest 2 heat races will set your position for the final. So Tim Dicknodder had one heat race that wasn't quite as good as he needed, and this is his opportunity to try and get into the A final, to carry on his challenge to try and reclaim and defend his MRC RX Championship trophy. Stephen Bossard there and Fabian Paler, both with identical times. And the 2 fastest times, in fact, in the event so far have exactly the same time. And we'll have to see. Only one of them can win this final heat, and that will surely determine who is going to be on the top spot for the A final. Jonathan Palmer for New Dimension Racing, responsible for the gridding, and we are ready to go for the final heat race of round 2 at Blackwood Rallycross in Live for Speed. Been an exciting event so far, but I feel like the next 2 races we're about to see are going to be the spectacle. Here we go. We have a grid, and it is not the grid I was expecting. But there we are. Silva, Dicknodder, Sarkinen, Paler and Bossard. And they're away. And it's a good start from Silva and Dicknodder. They've got a nose ahead of the field. But it's not going to matter. Silva's been punted. He's been pushed wide into Dicknodder. And it's Sarkinen who takes an early lead in this class field. This is a talent-packed grid, this one. And it's Silva going for a return send up the inside. The young Finn sends it and pushes Sarkinen wide. This is allowing Paler a chance to get back through. Bossard finds himself at the back. That's not where he thought he'd be. And in fact, Dicknodder now at the back. He might have a bit of an opportunity, but Bossard's been spun round. This is not ideal. And Dicknodder as well. Dicknodder did not need this. He needed this to be his best heat, and it's going to be one of his worst probably. Silva's done his Joker as well. So Silva he's through the Joker and ahead of both Bossard and Dicknodder. This is fantastic for him. But Teemu Sarkinen and Paler at the front in prime position, but a disaster for P1 and P2 in the championship. Stephen Bossard P1 and Dicknodder P2. This will almost certainly be one of their drop results. Stephen Bossard's drop result for sure. Dicknodder, he needed to have a good result here. He's going to have to work so hard in his finals to get through probably the B final. He'll have to win it in order to be promoted to the A final. There's no way he's going to be able to recover this, I don't think. It's a battle between Paler and Sarkinen at the front that we're going to be entertained to. But keep an eye on Silva. He's done his Joker, and he's closing up only 1.6 seconds the gap to the cars ahead. He could take the win here because these two are fighting so hard. They're going to have to go through the Joker this time or next. It's Sarkinen who goes through an early Joker, but is it going to be enough to get past Silva? No, it is not. Silva is through and clear. He's doing a great job here, but Paler, well, he needs a super, super strong final lap in order to get through, and it's probably not going to be enough because Silva is on an absolute mission here. And you can just see Stephen Bossard starting to close up to the back of Sarkinen. But all eyes then on Paler to see where he comes out in relation to Bossard and Sarkinen. But Teemu Silva almost certainly has the victory here under his belt if he can get a clean lap. 1.3 seconds now the gap to the leader. Coming down all the time. Fastest lap on his belt as well. Great stuff. But the number 13 needs to push through his Joker. Let's ride on board with him. Let's see how he navigates it because it's going to be crucial. This will determine his position in his final. It's almost certainly going to be the A final. But where will he be? Oh, he's nailed it. He's nailed the apex, but he's come out in second place. Silva has shot through. So this is going to be a fantastic result for Silva. A very, very quick heat result for him. Let's see what it is. Will it be the fastest heat time of the evening so far? Possibly not. A good recovery in the end for the cars behind, but it's Silva who comes across the line, visibly joyed by that one. Yeah, very, very fast heat time. 3 minutes 2. It's not the fastest, but it's one of the fastest. Fastest combined time, probably. 5 seconds separating the grid with the 5 cars. But it's silver ahead of Pela, Sarkinen, Bossard, and Dicknotter. Bossard and Dicknotter will not be happy with that. More specifically, Dicknotter will be gutted. He'll be absolutely gutted with that result. He would not have wanted to be last in his final heat, so he is almost certainly going to be in either the B or the C final. He won't have made it through to the A final. Stephen Bossard will possibly squeak through into the A final. And we should be able to generate our list of grids for the finals. Let's have a look. There it is. We will see what happens, but Stephen Bossard looks like he's done just enough to squeak through to the A final. Yes, he has a combined fastest time along with Fabian Pela. So those two qualify for the A final quite comfortably. Sindra Silva also qualifying for the A final with relative ease there. The second fastest time. Timu Sarkinen, after that fantastic result that we just saw then, he qualifies for the A final, as well as Daniel Lundqvist. So he had a few fights with other cars in other heats, and he qualifies for the A final. You see a vacant place there for the B final winner. B final will be contested between Tim Dicknotter, David Godge, Yassin Badal, Roni Hopiavuri, and Rafael Costa. So one of those 5 will be promoted to the A final. Hopefully, for our reigning champion, you'd hope that he'd be able to squeak through. But any of those guys could win this on merit. The C final will be contested between Alexandre Thiel, Michael Malek, Sergei Stilov, Roni Krompush, and Miguel Leandro. Only 3 finals today. And the winner of that will be promoted to the B final. So essentially anyone on this grid could win, because there are promotions from each of the A and B final. Oh, we're going to have a 3-minute break before the start of the finals, so please don't go anywhere, but this is going to be brilliant. Don't go anywhere. It's time for the finals. The grids are almost ready, and we can show those on screen at the moment. Here they are. It'll be Stephen Bossard, Fabian Palla, Sindre Silva, and Teemu Sarkinen on the front two rows, and Daniel Lundqvist on the final row for the A final. Nodder, Goj, Bidal, Hoppivuri, Costa, and our C final coming up first, which we can see the grid for on screen right now. Here they are. Between Thiel, Michael Malek, Kirill, Krompush, and Leandro. And off they go down to turn one. It's Michael Malek alongside Thiel and Kirill. His arch nemesis goes for the big send, and again there's carnage. Couldn't quite tell who caused that from that angle, but Thiel's the man who loses out massively, and it's Kirill who's bullied his way through to the front. Michael Malek back down to P3 and Leandro in P2. Remember, the winner of this race gets promoted to the B final, which is coming up just next. But this is now a 4-lap race. 1 joker lap still for these guys. And it's Kirill who leads the way, the number 74, ahead of Leandro. Under pressure from Michael Malek then. As we head down to the joker, will he go for it? No, he doesn't. But as you see, Leandro disappearing on stage left, along with Rony Krompush. Joker completed for those two. And onto the home straight, we have Kirill, Michael Malek, and Thiel, Leandro and Krompush. And Kirill's been lucky there. He pushed his way through at the front and currently maintains a 1.5 second lead over Michael Malek. The crucial gap on this track is about 3 seconds. If you've got a 3-second gap to the car behind, you should make it out of the joker ahead, and then you have to fight your way down to the final corners. So currently, Kirill is safe. So too is Michael Malek from Leandro, who is the first car to take the joker. Top two elect not to do the joker, but Thiel is in. He's going to be in close battle with the final two, and he's come out and he's slammed into the side of Rony Krompush. They're both in the wall, and Rony should have been more aware that the car was in the joker than that. And those two costing each other a lot of time. Thiel now well and truly last. Kirill very, very wide at turn one. This is going to give Michael Malek a sniff that he could take the outright victory here then. A 9/10 of a second gap, and then a 4.2 second gap back to Leandro. So Michael Malek could be on for a promotion here if he can try and get through on Kirill. Rony's very close behind Leandro. And these three are going to end up just holding each other up. Michael Malek has got everything to do. Rony goes for a big lunge. Gets on the brakes again and holds both of them up quite a lot there. Rony trying to do it the clean way and costing them both time. Kirill's done the joker. Michael Malek gets through. But these three glued to one another. 2 laps to go. And yeah, you can see the concertina effect there, holding all of them up. Leandro into the front of Rony, and Rony into the front of Thiel, and neither of them really able to make much progress here. Going to be a 3-way scrap into turn one, and this is for the final step on the podium. Neither of these three currently looking like they're going to get the victory, as Thiel goes way too deep on the brakes and goes wide. Leandro's going to have an advantage here, and Rony Krompush still fighting contact and not able to get through. Michael Malek is, well, he hasn't got a big enough gap to Kirill to win this easily. We're on the final lap. Michael Malek has the fastest lap, but Kirill's had a brilliant lap. And Michael has to do his joker now and pray that Kirill has a dodgy final few corners. Kirill's done everything he needs. A brilliant race from him. Pushed his way through on the first lap. And currently looks like he's going to win quite comfortably. It looks like Rony may have P3 in the bag, but let's watch the cars as they head up the hill. Kirill's going to win. Michael Malek's going to take P2. It's not going to be enough for Michael Malek to progress. Kirill will progress to the B final. Rony Krompush comes across the line in third, followed by Leandro in the end, the number 19. And Thiel, well, It looked like it was going to be a good round for him, but unfortunately, he has come out last place. And let's have a look then at our results. It will be Kirill who gets promoted to the B final with a 4-minute 5. Michael Malek in P2, Roni Krompesh P3, Leandro in P4, and Teal in P5. Michael Malek the fastest lap, but not enough in the end. He will unfortunately end up in the unlucky position of not being promoted to the B final. That goes to Kirill. And that means we can then take a look at our updated grids. Let's have a look at the grids for the final. There we go. You see that Sergei Stilov has been promoted to the B final. Rafael Costa will join him. Roni Hopiavuri, Yasin Bidal, David Godge, and Tim Dicknotter. Our reigning champion, Tim Dicknotter, absolutely needs to have a clean race. But as you can see from the race we just had, it's not often that simple. 6 cars, the largest grid we've had tonight. So this can only mean one thing. It's going to be chaos. But we're right here for it. Let's see how this one pans out. There is your grid. Tim Dicknotter and David Godge on the front row. Yasin Bidal on the second row alongside Hopiavuri, and Costa and Kirill at the back. Kirill promoted from that C final we just watched. And deep into the first corner goes Godge. And it is Tim Dicknotter who is fighting at the front. He's got a clear run. Can he keep it? This is exactly what he needs, while the rest of the cars behind fight. Hopiavuri in the mix completely there in the yellow car with the Finnish flag on the bonnet. There is Kirill, who was at the back and is currently in P2. Could he be the surprise to climb all the way from the C final through to the A final? So far, so good. He's up to P2 already after only 5 corners, leaving Yasin Bidal to fight Hopiavuri down towards the Joker. Oh, Hopiavuri making a very late move. Got caught up with Bidal. That's going to hold him up even more. He has to fight with Costa now, right at the back. Both of those guys having completed the Joker. And Tim Dicknotter. Well, this is a dream start for Tim. He needs to push. He can't afford a single mistake. And Kirill has shown his class to be promoted through to the B final. Bidal will be hoping for mistakes from his 2 competitors ahead. And David Godge, well, he'll be thinking what on earth went wrong on the run down to turn 1. He was so late on the brakes and ended up going so wide that he's cost himself 3 places. Tim Dicknotter out in the lead, needs to affect the biggest advantage he can. Hopiavuri and Costa still fighting at the back, and I don't understand how this has happened. They really need to push if they want to stand any chance of getting a victory here. Tim Dicknotter then opening up even more of a lead. Yasin Bidal now exiting straight in front of these 2, and it's not what these guys want. They're seeing Yasin Bidal out ahead of them. Hopiavuri will be furious, and he's going to have to try and get this done on the road. He's got an absolute mountain to climb if he wants to get into the A final. Tim Dicknotter posts another fastest lap as we head down to turn 1, a bit wide, but it's no such problem. It was quite wide. He can't afford any mistakes. This needs to be a comfortable victory for him if he wants to get into the A final to join the likes of Stephen Bossard and Paler. Fabian Paler and Stephen Bossard cemented at the front of our A final. And which one of these guys is going to join them? Is it going to be Dicknotter in the number 1, our reigning champion? Making his life quite difficult, it has to be said. 2 more opportunities to go through the Joker. Is he going to do it now? No, he's not. He's going to leave it for the final lap. Kirill is going to leave it as well. David Godge in P3. And it's still close between Roni Hopiavuri and Yasin Bidal at the back. They are closing up to Godge. One of these 3 could get a podium here, potentially. But as we head on to the final lap, Tim Dicknotter, Kirill and David Godge have to serve their Joker lap. And it's a bit slow. It's a bit slow out of the first corner for Godge. Not the best exit, and he does risk losing his 3rd place in the B final. Tim Noda and Kirill are basically the two best placed machines to finish first. But Tim Noda is doing everything he needs to do. He has to go through the Joker cleanly. Let's watch him do it. Locking up a little bit. It's not the fastest. It's not the fastest. He's tagged the wall as well. But it's enough. It's just enough. Kirill is out in second place as well. David Godge just out in third place ahead of Yasin Bidal. Yasin's pushing so hard. He really wants it. He's gone for a big send. He's tagged the back of David Godge. But it's not going to be enough. David will have enough in the tank to get it done. But look at this man. Tim Noda didn't make it easy for himself. But he is now promoted to the A final with that fantastic win. And a great fastest lap. A 58.84. Tim Noda, our reigning champion, is through. Yasin Bidal there on his roof arriving. Well, look at that. He's placed himself on the tyre barrier at the end of this A final. Let's get the results. Sorry, for the B final before we head to the final race of round number 2 of the Master Race Car Rallycross Championship Season 3. What a fantastic race that was. But it's Tim Noda who will be promoted to the A final. Kirill there, P2. Unfortunately, not going to make it through. He was close, though. 1.6 seconds. He almost made it from the C final to the A final. So hats off to Kirill. Unfortunately, his evening ends there. David Godge, P3, Bidal, P4, Hoppy Avuri and Rafael Costa also unable to progress. But what a fantastic race that was. Let's get a look at our finals grids and see who will be promoted through. There we are, Tim Noda, the B final winner, promoted through to the A final. Stephen Bossard will take pole position, Paler P2, Sindra Silva P3, Timu Sarkinen P4, Daniel Lundqvist P5, and Tim Noda with it all to do again at the back of the A final. Coming up now. And there's your grid for the final. Bossard and Silva on the front row, both seasoned real-life rallycross drivers. Taylor at the back, we have an aborted start here. I think the grid is going to be reshuffled. So while that happens, we will take a short break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a regrid for the A final. Let's try that again. Here comes the A final. Stephen Bossard and Silva on the front row. Sarkinen alongside Lundqvist on the second row, and it's Dick Noda. And we have another abort, unfortunately. Another 4-lap final here. The driver's just making sure that we grid properly for this one. But what a race this is going to be. This is going to be all of the best rallycross talent in Season 3 of the MRC Rallycross Championship. Stephen Bossard, our championship leader, he has some work to do. And Tim Noda has the most work to do as our reigning champion to try and get to the front of this and win. Bit of a hold here while we grid up again. But it's going to be worth the wait, I guarantee you of that. Thank you for joining us here on Sim Broadcasts. If you like the content we're pushing out for this, then please consider liking the video on YouTube, subscribing to our channels on Twitch or YouTube. We appreciate the support. And of course, if you want to get involved in the Rallycross Championship the next season, or indeed the next round in a couple of weeks' time, then please head to the LFS forum and sign up for it. That looks better. Stephen Bossard alongside Paler on the front row, as we expected. Alongside Silver on the second row is Sarkinen, and then it's Lundqvist and Dicknotter. Here come the lights for the final time this evening. We are green and we are going. No abort this time. And as we run down to turn one, it's the two round protagonists side by side. Bossard goes deep. Silver manages to get through at the front, and it's Paler who has a terrible first corner, ending up in the back. But it's Silver, and he goes through the tyres, in fact, as well. It's Silver who leads by Stephen Bossard in second, Lundqvist in P3, and Tim Dicknotter up 2 places to P4. Great start for him. Bad start for Paler. Dream start for Sindra Silva. For the Rotarian team, the number 63 out in the front. Dream start for him. Stephen Bossard will be hoping he can get him back at some point. Who's going to go through the Joker? It's going to be Lundqvist, Dicknotter, and Sarkinen. And Paler goes through there. You can just see him in the front of the shot. There he goes through. Yet to serve his Joker, but he now has a bit of clean air while these 3 behind squabble. That was a good call for him not to go through the Joker. And this could hurt Dicknotter and Lundqvist for sure. This is not what they wanted. But yeah, there we go. Silver leads Bossard. Bossard tapping the grass there, leaving a big trail of smoke in his wake as we head over the first jump. Stephen Bossard has everything to do to try and get back past Silver. Bossard had pole. Silver came from the second row to take up this position. And it's a lot of work to do. We haven't ridden on board too much in battles today, so let's keep an eye on this front fight to see who is going to come out on top. Good exit from Sindra Silver in the number 63. Neither of these two are going to serve their Jokers now. They're going to want track position. Bossard tagging the barrier. That's compromised his entry into turn 6. Bit wide, and that's going to compromise even more his line through the final section. Tim's rolled it. Tim's over. He's out. Tim has rolled it. Oh, he's managed to keep it going, but that's a disaster. He's not going to be able to make anything from this round, surely, unless someone else has a big disaster. That was not good for Tim Dicknotter. Sarkinen side by side with Lundqvist. I told you this was going to be a nail-biter, and it is. Sarkinen through on Lundqvist after obvious contact or side-by-side drama with Tim Dicknotter, who ended up careering towards one of the tyre barriers on his door. Somehow manages to recover, but it's not going to be a good round for Tim Dicknotter this one. He's going to have to do it all in round 3. Sarkinen versus Lundqvist, the closest battle we've gotten. There's more contact. This could be more drama, but Sarkinen exits onto the back straight in the lead as Stephen Bossard goes through the Joker on the 3rd time of asking and comes out behind Paler. Paler yet to serve his Joker, so Stephen won't mind that too much. Fabian Paler didn't have a great first corner. He ended up going from 2nd place to last after turn 1. And as we head down the straight, Stephen Bossard will not mind that he has Paler ahead of him. What he will mind is the fact that Sindra Silva, the number 63, is disappearing in the distance, looking to take victory in round 2. One final lap, one trip through the Joker, and it is his, potentially. Let's see what he can manage in the last minute of this fantastic round that we've had today. Paler with the fastest lap, but he's going to drop at least 1 position towards the end of this race. He's going to drop behind Bossard almost certainly, but his main competitor at this point on the road is Teemu Sarkinen, who is about 3 seconds behind him. There goes Paler through the Joker. We'll keep an eye on Sarkinen. Can Sarkinen get ahead? No, he can't. Silver gets out in front of Bossard. It's close at the front as well. It's closer than I expected. But Bossard will have to settle for P2 as we run up to the line. It's not going to be enough. Sindra Silva will take victory, his first victory of the season, and he does so in a bit of a flourish. Stephen Bossard P2. It's going to be Teemu Sarkinen who takes... Well, in fact, no, Paler takes P3 ahead of Teemu Sarkinen. Lundqvist then in P5. And our reigning champion, Tim Dicknotter, with a disaster of an A final down in P6. Crucial points going away from him. Great points for Sindra Silva. And what a race that was. What a fantastic way to finish round number 2 of the championship. And we will get final classification of those results. Sindra Silva in 4 minutes 2. A very, very fast heat for him in P number 1. Gold medal position for him. Stephen Bossard, our season 3 leader in P2. Taylor in P3 on his first outing in the championship will finish a healthy P3. Great points for him as he starts his Season 3 campaign. Teemu Sarkinen in P4, Lundqvist in P5, and Tim Dicknotter in P6, losing out there after a pretty unlucky opening lap, it has to be said. But there we go. He ended up rolling it almost and was able to finish the race to claim the points he desperately needs in the championship. We're going to hear from a few drivers, we hope, and we will wait around for that. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment's time with hopefully some interviews from our top drivers. Don't go anywhere. Joining me now in the commentary box is Sindra Silva. Sindra, well, that was a bit of a difference from round one. Congratulations, you've won round two. Round two.
Yeah, thanks. It was a fun pleasure this time, at least.
Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. Talk us through that final race, in particular turn one, where you managed to gain. You went from the second row up to the first row.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was Bazaar that came a little bit hot into the T1, so he outbraked himself, and I just tried to be side by side with Payer coming into T1, and it worked out coming out P1 out of there, and just tried to keep the pace up. I saw that none of us actually could push some laps. We were so scared of the tires, so we just kept it clean. And I saw also I got Bazaar, like I got some advantage over him throughout the race, so I felt pretty confident. But I fucked up a little bit in the Joker, so it was too close to comfort, to be honest.
Yeah, well, a fantastic final from you, and crucial points in the championship as well. This is going to be great for your championship. It kind of actually just gets your season 2 started. You didn't have a fantastic time in the last round, did you at all? I mean, this must be a bit of a boost for you, especially mixing it with your fellow real world rally drivers. What did you make of that?
It was fun. I know Pierre from long back. We've been competing in iRacing's World Championship qualifier and stuff. So I've been talking a lot with him. My Dirt Rally 2.0 days as well. So yeah, he's pretty fast. I was pretty scared when I joined the server and I saw he was here. So but it was a fun pleasure.
Yeah, it must be fun. Racing him on different sim. Clearly, you have a lot of experience in LFS over the years, and you use that to good effect, finishing 2/10 clear of Bossard and 2 seconds clear of Paler in the final. So good effort. What can we look forward to from you then in the next few rounds? You've got 3 rounds to go in the championship. You've got your season underway. Can you use this momentum in the next couple of rounds?
I hope so. I've always proven that I have the pace to compete at least for top 3s every race. And the first race we had a little bit problem with people trying to, I don't know what, but yeah, I got collected last race. So just try to get out of the crashes and stuff like that, and I think we'll be fine. They got a little head start for sure with the points, but yeah, I'm looking forward to try to compete for the win.
Yeah, you did a fantastic job of that. That has to be said. Yeah, we can see you up there on the podium, the nice Rallycross podium that we've got there. Yeah, what's the view like from up there? I think it must be pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Looking down on Pierre for sure.
Well, brilliant. We hope to see you for round 3, and yeah, I hope it's a good one for you as well.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the broadcast, guys.
Thank you very much for being here. Sindra Silva, ladies and gentlemen, joining us there for an interview and winning comfortably in the end in this round. Stephen Bossard in P2, Paler in P3, Sarkin in P4, Lundqvist P5, and Tim Dicknotter will be a little bit sore, I think, after that one, down in P6. Not the round he would have wanted for sure, but it's not over. We have a whole load more races coming up this season. We have Fern Bay in a few weeks' time, followed by Aston and West Hill before we draw the season to a close on February 5th. Thanks everybody for joining us for the second round of Master Race Cars Rallycross Championship Season 3. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you next time. From all of us here at Sim Broadcasts, we wish you a happy rest of your weekend, and we'll see you the next time. Have a good one. Good night.